My child, listen carefully. Your deal is broken. She came last night. You need to understand what this means before it's too late. Watch now immediately. There is something you must know, and you must not delay. Not even for a moment. This is a spiritual message written not with ink, but with divine tears that have fallen silently while you were asleep. There has been a movement in the realm of spirit. An agreement has been shattered. A promise twisted. A soul has entered your space uninvited. And now the air around you has changed. The silence is no longer empty, it's watching you. Listening. Waiting for your next decision. You were not supposed to read this too late. This moment was chosen. She came last night, not in body, but in spirit. She came with something hidden behind her tongue. Something sour behind her sweetness. She came to finish what she once started. But she failed. Because this message is reaching you in time. Barely, but just enough. The fire that nearly caught your soul was inches away. But even in the fire, God preserved your voice. Even in the shadow, He marked you for survival. And now you must choose what to do next. There is a reason you felt what you felt last night. That tightening in your chest. The pressure behind your eyes. The chill on your skin even though the room was warm. It wasn't just anxiety. It wasn't just coincidence. It was a visitation. Your spirit knew before your body could understand. The space around your bed was not empty. Something stood there. And even though you couldn't see it, your soul recognized it. A betrayal. A presence. A broken contract now floating in pieces above your head, unseen by most. But you? You are not most. That's why this is happening to you. Because your calling is rare, your war is silent but deadly, and your victory is loud in heaven though quiet on earth. God says, listen to me just once and don't delay. I placed signs in your dreams, and I wrote warnings in your thoughts. But still, you tried to explain it all away. You convinced yourself you were just overthinking. But my child, you were not. You were not. You were never imagining it. That heaviness wasn't nothing. That shift in people's eyes wasn't just drama. That phone call you missed wasn't by mistake. And the silence from the one who used to talk to you every day? That wasn't random. It was part of it. The deal you made spiritually, maybe in prayer, maybe in silence, maybe in sacrifice, was pure. But someone touched it with hands that didn't belong. And now I am stepping in because I love you too much to stay silent. There are certain things that must not be left unspoken any longer. You must know that not all who stand beside you are with you. Not all who speak kindly are wishing you well. And not all who left you were supposed to return, but one did. She came last night. And she tried to make herself invisible. She tried to twist her shadow into your memory so that when you saw her face again, you would only remember the good. But this time you must see clearly. Because this is no longer about emotional confusion, this is spiritual preservation. Your soul has been targeted not because you are weak, but because you are powerful. You carry a purpose that others cannot duplicate. You carry a light that interrupts their darkness. So they return to you, not for reconciliation, but for interference. Listen. That smile they gave you recently wasn't innocent. That comment wasn't harmless. That silence wasn't peaceful. There is something underneath it all. And you've felt it. But now is not the time to suppress your discernment. Now is not the time to shrink your spirit to fit in spaces that were never meant to hold you. You tried to hold on. You tried to give grace. You tried to wait. But now even the heavens are screaming, "Move. Move, child. Move before what is invisible becomes unbearable. Move before the deal that was already broken starts to poison what's left of your peace. Move before the wrong door opens again, only for your soul to be dragged into a cycle you thought was long over." She came last night. Not just to look at you, but to pull something out of you. She tried to rewrite your future by revisiting your past. But she underestimated your growth. She didn't know that you would receive this message. She didn't know that your soul would wake up before the trap closed. My child, do not return to what I rescued you from. Do not re-sign what I cancelled. Do not entertain what I exposed. This is not just about her. This is about the spirit she carried. It comes to mimic love, but it brings confusion. It comes to offer peace, but it breeds anxiety. It comes smiling, but underneath it wears envy like perfume. Let me be clear. This isn't just an emotional tug-of-war. This is a spiritual ambush disguised as affection. She came not to heal, but to harvest. Not to bless, but to bind. Not to grow, but to gather information. So guard your tongue. Guard your room. Guard your spirit. Say nothing more than what's needed. Share nothing more than what's safe. Because the next move is critical. You have been marked for restoration. But restoration comes with exposure. You are rising. And that rise will irritate the spirits you once comforted. Do not be surprised if people from your past show up looking strangely familiar, yet spiritually off. They are not the same anymore. And neither are you. This is not the time to play humble when I'm calling you to be bold. This is not the time to bend for people I've already broken away from you. There is something sacred about your season. And the enemy knows it. That's why she came last night. To distract you. To delay you. To disarm you. But I'm sending this message to put the sword back in your hand. You will not go back. You will not be deceived. You will not be overtaken. This warning is your line in the sand. You know too much now. You've been through too much to repeat the pain again. And I know it hurts to say goodbye. I know it hurts to close the door. But trust me, keeping it open will cost you your peace. And what's coming needs your full strength. What's coming will answer prayers you cried in silence. What's coming is worth more than anything that's behind you. So listen closely, delete the number. Cancel the meeting. Don't answer the text. Don't reply to the message. Silence isn't cruelty, it's protection. Obedience isn't punishment, it's wisdom. You're not being paranoid, you're being preserved. She came last night. But she didn't win. Because I woke you up in time. Because I made sure you received this divine alert. Because I love you more than you know. And because I still have plans for you. The broken deal was necessary. The exposure was mercy. The discomfort is proof that you're not sleeping through your calling. You are awake. You are aware. And now, you must act. There are blessings you haven't seen yet because I was waiting for you to shut the wrong door first. I was waiting for you to stop holding hands with what was holding you back. I was waiting for you to stop calling loyalty what I call bondage. I was waiting for you to see that sometimes the devil doesn't come with horns, but with history. With nostalgia. With fake apologies and vague promises. Don't buy the lie. Don't eat from the plate that once poisoned you. My child, this moment is sacred. What you do now sets the tone for the rest of your year. This is not the time to be weak-hearted. This is the time to be spiritually sober. The illusions are thick. The manipulation is subtle. But you are not helpless. You have power in your silence. You have safety in your boundaries. You have clarity in your spirit. Use it. I am with you. I am in you. I am speaking through this message. And I won't stop protecting you, even from yourself. Even from your desire to see the best in those who are only giving you their worst. Even from your love for people who secretly resent your joy. Trust me. Walk away even if your hands are trembling. Close the door even if your voice shakes. I am not asking you to be heartless. I am asking you to be wise. To be alert. To be spiritually awake. The night she came was not the end, but it could have been. Had you not listened, had you not sensed, had you not prayed, you wouldn't have made it. But you did. And now that you know, do not ignore the signs. Do not delay your response. Do not underestimate the weight of this message. Because this is more than a warning. It is your rescue. It is your redirection. It is your divine intervention. She came last night. But heaven came for you first. Your deal is broken. She came last night. Watch now immediately. This message for you. My beloved child, sit down for a moment and listen, not with your ears, but with your soul. Listen with the part of you that trembles in silence at 3 a.m., the part that asks, "Why did they do this to me?" The part of you that wakes up feeling something is wrong even when no words have been spoken. Listen because you have reached a point in your journey where heaven had to intervene, where the silence had to be broken. You are not crazy. You are not overreacting. You are not imagining things. Something happened last night. Something important. And it wasn't just a dream. It was a warning. A divine interruption. She came last night. And heaven noticed. There is a woman who has stepped where she should not have stepped. She came into spiritual territory not assigned to her. She walked through the back door of your life like a thief in the night. She whispered your name into a mirror not out of love but out of envy. She touched something sacred. And now, the deal is broken. The one they tried to force you into. The trap that was set. The spiritual binding that almost held you down is now cracking like old glass because heaven interfered the moment your spirit called out in exhaustion. Your weariness was heard. And even when you didn't have the words to pray, your tears said everything. My child, let this sink deep into your heart. She came, but she left empty. She thought she had you, but she didn't realize who walks with you. What she tried to bring into your life was meant to delay your divine timing, to tie you to a false agreement, to lock you into a cycle that was never yours. But just when it was about to be sealed, an angel stood between you and that agreement, and heaven shattered the plan. You were not supposed to know this yet, but the weight on your chest, the dreams that feel like warnings, the sudden shift in your relationships, that strange silence from certain people, the sharp twist of betrayal you felt from someone you trusted, it's all connected. It's all part of this spiritual battle that you were never supposed to fight alone. And you are not alone. The proof is in the way you are still standing. Last night, while your physical body slept, your soul was pulled into a sacred council. Your name was spoken aloud by beings you cannot yet imagine. And they decided, enough. They decided to break the deal. They saw the contract that was about to be sealed in secret. They saw her hand, the one cloaked in charm and deception, the one who smiled to your face but wrote your name into a prayer that wasn't from light. She wanted access. She wanted to delay what is coming to you. She wanted to step into your place. But she did not know that your name is marked in divine ink. God says, I tore it. I tore the paper. I tore the pact. I broke what was never meant to bind you. I watched as she came into the spiritual realm with her offerings and her lies. And I allowed it, for a moment. Not because I agreed with her, but because I wanted her to expose herself. And she did. She came at the wrong hour. She touched the wrong name. She underestimated what is sealed in you. She tried to carry your blessing, but she found out it was too heavy for unclean hands. There is someone close to you, someone you would never suspect, who has been speaking about your name in places your spirit should never be mentioned. There have been gatherings, physical and spiritual, where your image was used as a key. They've tried to use your story, your suffering, even your past sins as bargaining tools. But now the entire deal has been reversed. You are not cursed. You are not broken. You are not going backward. The delay you felt recently was not because you failed. It was because something needed to be exposed before your next breakthrough. The delay was not punishment, it was protection. You would have walked into a room smiling while everyone in that room was discussing how to steal what belongs to you. So heaven said, pause. And you felt like your prayers weren't working. But what was actually happening was the divine reordering of everything you couldn't see. That's why they stopped calling. That's why their tone changed. That's why you keep sensing something strange in the air. That's why every time you pray now, your spirit trembles, because you're walking into something new, and the realm around you knows it. That's why the dreams are becoming clearer. The voice in your soul louder. The signs more frequent. Because something ancient has been broken. Something that would have cost you your next season. My child, your obedience even in confusion has triggered a response in heaven that most people never witness. You kept going even when they mocked you. You kept giving even when they took from you. You kept praying even when it felt like no one was listening. You kept loving even when you were betrayed. And that kind of faith cannot go unnoticed. That kind of faith speaks louder than any curse spoken in hidden rooms. She came last night thinking it was her final move. But it was her exposure. It was the moment heaven marked the truth for your protection. And now that it's been revealed, the unraveling has begun. People will begin to distance themselves without explanation. Let them go. Things will break suddenly that once looked secure. Let them fall. Messages will be read but not replied to. Accept the silence. Doors will close. Walk away with peace. Because what is coming to you must not be surrounded by deception. Your new season requires clean hands around you. So heaven is clearing the room. My child, You have been carrying weight that was not yours. You were emotionally invested in people who had no spiritual permission to walk with you. You believed words that were only meant to manipulate your compassion. But now you are being set free, not just emotionally, but spiritually, financially, mentally, and relationally. You're not going crazy. You're just waking up. You're not being punished. You're being prepared. The pain you feel right now is a holy interruption. The broken deal is your confirmation. Someone was speaking promises to you with one mouth and lies with another. But your soul picked up on it before your mind could understand it. That's why you felt confused. That's why you kept second-guessing yourself. But God was speaking to you in a language deeper than words. And now it's time for you to trust that voice again. Because the delay is over. The interference is broken. The contract is cancelled. You are being released from every spiritual rope tied behind your back. You are walking out of spiritual cages built by generational patterns, jealous people, and soul ties that were never supposed to survive this long. You are not who you used to be. That's why the old relationships cannot survive this version of you. You're stepping into divine territory now. And it's lonely. But it's holy. The tears will dry. The confusion will clear. The heaviness will lift. Because your spirit is entering rest. Not the rest of sleep, but the rest of knowing you are now protected, covered, hidden, guided, and no longer under the influence of the deal they tried to bind you to. She came. But you stayed standing. She whispered your name. But you were already marked by heaven. She tried to speak over your destiny. But her voice holds no power here. Heaven responded. And you are free. Watch how everything changes now. The shift has already begun. You may not feel it yet, but things are already being rearranged. People who once ignored you will suddenly become aware. Rooms that were once closed to you will now open wide. But you will not return to old habits. You will not answer calls from the past. You will not entertain people who once misused you. You will move forward, not bitter, but wiser. Not angry, but aligned. Not revengeful, but reborn. God will be with you. Rest assured. Nothing will go wrong with you. You are safe. You just have to trust God and pray to Him. Open your heart and receive this. Your name is being whispered in rooms of favor. Your footsteps are being guided away from manipulation. Your hands are being prepared to hold more than they ever have. Your eyes are being opened to see who is real and who is not. Your future is no longer threatened by the secrets of others. It is sealed by the truth of heaven. Your deal is broken. The false promise has no hold. The spirit that tried to delay your destiny has been silenced. And now, my child, your real journey begins. Stay alert. Stay prayerful. And do not look back. It's your time.